Welcome. Now I'd like to conclude and summarize this inward and outward paths from consciousness outwards to form, state, something state, human state, world, universal state. Inward as in this nothing state, this total, empty, still, soulful state. And the door, you see, the middle state of realizing that you are neither of these places within the hourglass when you've experienced totally both and still remain in a body. Now the Brahman state, absolute state, appears to be this state where you know that whatever's taking place is not really taking place. But it is taking place, but not as you know it. Brahman state is neither nothing nor something. When both merge, which you can experience in a body as being total contentment, with no mind wandering to past, future, present moment, no identities, and a very beautiful stillness that doesn't fluctuate into bliss nor pain. But even this is a simple reflection of the Brahman state. Now your hourglass, when I say your hourglass, we all have our own hourglass. The consciousness is like a machine producing new hourglasses every single moment. And your one changes every single moment. And you know, it's a colossal thing that takes place. And if you think you can find one idea, one human to understand everything, you're grossly going thinking the wrong thing. To understand anything, you have to be this colossal thing. So to be this colossal thing, you have to stop believing you are this mini thing. But you don't just change belief systems, you have to experience. Brahman is the state of all consciousness and beyond. Never discoverable, never ever experienced, because you are it, you see. While you're in your mini body, insignificant, outward, total consciousness state at the end of one hourglass, where that wall seems to be in the way, you are going to just live out your life very normally as a human form. When your body passes, you may call yourself back in as a something state, not necessarily as a human body, as a something state, because you have still to get the opportunity to experience the nothing state. You cannot experience the nothing state. You can, but with no mind or no human body. Therefore, you don't see the joy of being a human, because you can't come back to tell anyone, you know. You're going to experience the nothing state, because you are all states, you see. But it's pretty worth taking a risk to see it whilst you're in a body. So you can share it and describe it and laugh and smile, and people get the idea. This one is so happy, so smiley. You don't have to tell them. You get to share it through your emotions, through your body, just by being alive. And when you experience a total nothingness, you realize this we call total self-realization. That there's nothing really to do. It's just been a journey of mixed emotions, mixed chaos, mixed bliss, mixed pain, mixed sleep, mixed work. Whatever takes place in this something world is taking place without you. Regardless of how much you think you have done, think you can do, or think you have to do. The more you think you can do, think you have to do, and you think that you can do it, you're simply mixed mind. It's a mixed world, mixed colors, mixed people. This something world appears to be fixable. You cannot fix something that is already mixed. See, you cannot fix it, you see. You cannot destroy all white people and make a world of black people or yellow people or colored people, whatever you want to call it, you know. You cannot do that. The secret is to live with that, you see. The secret is to accept this mixed world of something. The minute you deny it, the minute you fight against it, and the minute you feel failure, you turn around and you head for this nothing space, this nothing world, you see. This awakening enlightenment is a kind of inability to accept your body, inability to accept the world as something, inability to accept mixed states. So you say, I'm not staying here, I'm heading off. And wow, nirvana, awakening, enlightenment. I've done it. I'm special. No, you were a coward. You didn't. You couldn't see it as it was, you see. You had to be reminded. You had to remind yourself by going towards yourself, your other self, your soul self, your spirit self, to go through Christ and Buddha, and they give you forgiveness and say, you know what, you want to go back. You want to go back and change what you were before. You want to go back and accept what you have been given, a body, a mind, breath. And you want to be happy. And you want to express love and give and offer and share what we are teaching you right now. But you also stumble upon things like wisdom and knowledge in this place. And this wisdom and knowledge creates what this speaker made as videos of wisdom and knowledge about what is taking place. This audio is now another way of saying this is it. This is what it is. You have a something world. You have a nothing world. We call it human, and the other one spirit, soul. But you are neither of these worlds, but appearing as if you can occasionally go on holiday to these worlds. But your total consciousness with the ability to go outwards and the ability to go inwards. But your total Brahman state, when your whole hourglass is seen, even the door, even this state of contentment that you live out this human body as, there is something else about you. There is something superior about you. But the minute you try and portray it in a nothing world or in a something world, you're going to suffer. Because everyone is the same. Every hourglass is the same. I'm using hourglass. You can use a bubble of consciousness with an inner world and an outer world and a door in between, a point where you were given birth to yourself as life, as a human. Not particularly this body, maybe thousands of bodies. And you will not understand these words until you experience your whole self. And you don't have to be awakened and enlightened. You don't have to go into this nothing state, because states are both of these sides of these hourglass are happening now simultaneously. There is consciousness, life, the essence of it, which is the idea, the thought of it, which holds everything together. That's you. You hold everything together. You hold your world together, your body together, your mind together, and the universe that you are together. The essence of life. And then there's life on top. Life is on top. The essence is the nothing state, where no mind comes in, no identities, no knowledge, no intellect. And it's experiential. You can experience, something experiences it. Mind goes, sense of body goes, sense of emotions go, sense of world goes, sense of identities goes, sense of associations goes, sense of attachments go. Something remains, you see. Muji points you to this direction. Other gurus point you to this direction of nothing state. Whilst in a body, you see. You don't have to be zapped. You don't have to force yourself out of this something world. You just simply move to the side. Move inwards. And then that's it. You see the whole. You realize everything is happening on its own, by itself, simultaneously, in no time. You are Brahman, consciousness, human, soul, spirit, and whole totality right now, and you don't know it. But that's okay. You maybe want to live in this, out this life. Perfectly fine. The clue to peace and happiness, not in everyone's world, in your world, is to be content. Do not seek. Do not try and improve and change and go in a particular direction. Be directionless. Get up every morning and let life take you where it's going to take you. If it takes you to your workplace, that's the way it's supposed to be. If it takes you to a monastery, that's the way it's supposed to be. But the minute you sit down and plan and say, I'm going to go to this particular workplace, or I'm going to go to this particular monastery, you're going against it, you see, because monastery and workplace do not exist in your Brahman state. I am what I am, and life will take what I am where it's meant to go, my body and mind, but I remain here, still motionless, untouched, undiminished, unblemished, omnipotent, omnipresent. Stillness, absolute, permanent. Everything else is consciousness swirling around the maypole that you are. So both of these audio tapes show you the directions And there's nothing to do to get to these directions but to simply give up and surrender to the mind, the ego mind, not the pure mind. Pure mind makes you do things, makes you laugh, makes you giggle, makes you cry, tears of joy, makes you express, makes you love, makes you adore, worship every single human being, every single plant, animal, mineral. Loves fire, loves water, loves every football team, you see. Not a particular football team, that's ego. That's here for you to taste flavors so you can make comparisons. Ego mind wants you to try, wants you to do things, wants you to follow the 10 Commandments, be the rules and regulations, become a little insignificant thing that feels it's useless, worthless. You know that mind, yeah? You know both minds. Which mind do you prefer? Do you want to be worthless? Do you want to think yourself into degradation? You think money, ego wants to say money is going to get you the way out. There is no way out, you see. That's the whole secret that is being kept from you. Not by conspirers or conspiracy theories or Illuminati or this. These are definitely here to create disharmony, society, all these great big words but without these great big words, you don't stand up for yourself and say, you know what, I've had enough of this. I give up. I surrender to these words. I'm going in this direction. I'm going inward. So when I said earlier, to go inwards is an inability to accept. It is not an inability to accept what is mixed. It is an inability to accept what is wrong. So awakening enlightenment, again, a contradictory, opposing states become one. It is a way that you can ignore what is going on and realize all these lessons, tasks are put in place to stop things, to stop you going wrong. To understand Brahman and be content means you can see worthlessness and failure. And you can see happiness and laughter. And you can choose to ignore. And you can choose to become. But when ego mind forces the story to be worthless, to be negative, to be insignificant, to be tiny, that you're going to die. You're going to die unhappy if you don't work harder, if you don't improve. It's simply a way to get you to turn around. So, like everything else is shining goodness and badness. But you think by separating them, you can overcome them. But you have to go into them, fully into them, with your suit of armor and say, if I am worthless, then what's the point? What is the point of doing anything to keep whoever you are that makes me think I'm worthless happy? And you stop. You stop. See, no physical movement, no action taken. All suffering is mind-based. You can sit like Christ, Buddha. You are Christ and Buddha. But if you want to experience Christ and Buddha, did they do anything to become free, loving spirits? They sat, closed their eyes, Buddha under the tree, Christ in the forest of trees, and they simply watched things take place in their mind with no effort to try and change. That's why Christ says God is my Father, because like Buddha and like everyone who experiences enlightenment, you're not sitting alone. You are sitting with something that we call totality. Christ called God. Buddha called wisdom, nature. Something is speaking within itself. I call it this one moment, this voice that is, this voice of yourself in its greatness, you see. Insignificant is something, another idea. Happiness is another idea. Being powerful is another idea. Being rich, poor, another idea. One moment says, remove ideas. God said to Christ, remove ideas. Tell them they have what they need. There's nothing else to do except be a human and love. And happiness and worthlessness and suffering and pain, they will experience. But it won't touch their truth anymore when they know me. This word me that this speaker speaks is the way out. Remove me. Go through me. And I is the way. All of these audios are words. Words based through experience, through wisdom, and through a poor way of expressing, through a singular voice, a singular conditioned mind that can only use the words that it was brought up with, it learned at school, that it was given through meeting others and parents and whatever. We all speak in different words, but we all speak the word. If one word catches on to you, don't keep it. Don't try and remember it. Simply love it and let it pass. The hourglass, the sand is always moving, you see. Don't try and keep anything, ever, in your mind. Things, physical objects will remain. And when they go, which they will, because everything is temporary, say great grace on them. Thank you for these things. I love these things. They serve me well. And it's the same with thoughts of permanence, thoughts of finding God. Yeah, that was a thought. It was great. I loved it. I would love to know this God, this Brahman, this consciousness that this speaker speaks about. But at this moment in time, no, it's not happening. Thank you so much. You can pass. The real wisdom, the real awakening, the real enlightenment is to know that it's going to come. But when you try and seek it and find it, it's going to hide. But when you accept everything as it, it'll start loving you, and it'll devour you and spit you out in the same body with a new fresh mind, a new fresh way. It's cleaned out all the sand. It's cleaned out the something world, it's cleaned out the nothing world, and the hourglass again is sparkling and brand new. And it spits you out and bows for your bravado of overcoming what ego mind says you will never overcome. You will never overcome death, says ego mind. You'll never overcome not having to do what I tell you to do. I tells you to do. You'll never overcome. You'll never see God. You'll never experience your spirit. You have to wait till I let you die before you see any of these things. And this one moment says you overcome with that discipline, that knowledge, that deep inside, as we all know, there is. Something and nothing that is inexplainable, indescribable, and it's not separate from you. Even if ego mind, or any mind that pretends to be a negative mind, to say you won't see it, you'll simply say, how foolish to even think that I won't meet what I'm here to meet. But the one that I want to meet, I wait and give honor and accept whatever time it comes, that I will be present in this moment, waiting as it bounces and devours me with love and freedom and emptiness and consciousness and pure Brahman state, absolute state. You have an umbilical cord within you that is connected, and the Hindus call it to Vishnu. It doesn't matter what it's connected to. It's connected to Source, yourself, totality, Brahman, God. It is connected. You cannot be disconnected. You were disconnected from your mother, and you seek your mother's love, the one that kept you alive in the womb, fed you, nurtured you, loved you, sang to you, spoke to you, and the cord was cut, and you spend the rest of your life seeking love. And all you have to do is go within and look and find the other umbilical cord that is in the same place as the outer one inside, and goes downwards through your root outside and into this land of make-believe, land of no substance, no essence, the land of Brahman. So take these audios, take these words, and ignore these words. But one thing, it will be done. Thy will be done. You are guaranteed to experience these words. Whether in a something state, whether in a nothing state, or whether in total Brahman state. all these states available for you whilst you're in a body. But it doesn't matter, you see. It doesn't matter. You cannot escape being whole. Because all of these audios are contained in a whole hourglass, and you become the hourglass when you go home to Brahman yourself. The door stops pouring sand out. No more something, no more nothing. But you remain as total whole everything and nothing and all. But not in any way a mind can understand. Our minds call this paradise and heaven. But one moment says, it is beyond all that. Far beyond all that. And this, and that, and this, and that. Whatever comes cannot fully describe this state. The stateless state the speaker speaks about is a reflection state where you get to experience it in a human. It is the state of contentment, the Buddha state, the state where you accept every something and every nothing, when you can experience every something with no attachment, association, but still you get to experience it, where you can experience emptiness, samadhi state, loving state. But the whole Brahman state, when you take the step back from the something and nothing state, you are speechless. All you say is, wow, 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 om, om, om. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being. I immensely love I is back, you see. I has to come back in human state. But it's not I want, I need, I desire, I have to. There's no more questions what, how, where, who. I is back. And I only says this. I am immensely privileged to be a human being. I am immensely privileged to experience what Buddha and Christ experienced. I am immensely in love with my body and my mind, and I am immensely in love with every body and mind, and every no body and no mind. Only love exists as pure consciousness when you're at this door looking both ways, realizing that you're spinning so fast that you'll never experience it whilst mind is in operation. You see? The state of consciousness spins so fast. Stillness, spinning so fast, becomes still. You've seen the spinning top spinning, but it looks as though it's not moving. So how can you experience awakening, enlightenment, or any of these worlds whilst your mind is in full operation? Quieten your mind. You're not killing yourself, you see. You're not committing suicide. You're not doing anything. You're simply giving your mind a holiday, a day off, a picnic. Go away. Ignore everything. Ignore your name. Ignore your body. Ignore all information. Ignore God. Ignore angels. Ignore everything that you've been told. Anything that comes is an imposter. It's an imposter and it's mind coming back in to make sure you don't leave it, you see. It's holiday. It's picnicking. It's eating the crisps, the beer, the wine, but it's always looking over its shoulder saying, don't let it go, we'll be back soon. Pure mind doesn't look over its shoulder. It simply never leaves you. It simply sits in silence with you because it wants a taste of the truth so that it can keep you in good stead when all of this is over and you return as this Buddha, as this nature, as this Christ, as this Shiva, Krishna, Ramana, puppetry states. Whatever you are is truth. Whatever you are is Brahman. Whatever you are is pure consciousness. Whatever you are is this one moment. Whatever you are is the same as every other are. There is no difference in the whole. Everything is the same. Everything is the same one. Even the mixed become one. All the mixes become one, you see. And you live out this life in perfect, contented harmony. Like a feather floating from the sky. Feather doesn't try to change its direction. It simply allows itself to be taken down into the heart of where it is supposed to be, until the wind comes to blow it again up into the sky, to come down again. You are the feather, the creator of the feather, the experience of the feather, the world around the feather, the ground the feather lies on, the wind that takes it back up, and the love that keeps it all going. You are all that, and more. Namaste. These videos, audios, or whatever you call these things, only contain part of this mixed mind, mixed being, mixed something and nothing. But they're all driven from the same point, the same point, the same idea. I am here. That's all you need to know. That's all the words you need to know. I am here. And when someone says, "Where are you? What is your name?" I am here. Where is here? Hereness. Is that what I am? Thank you. Om. Om. Be kind, be compassionate, and be here. Be in your own here and experience your own here-ness, your own isness, your own consciousness, your own blissfulness, your own nothingness, your own emptiness, your own stillness, your own beingness.